Everyone says compounding is magical. Nobody tells you it feels like a lie for the first decade. You invest consistently and your account barely moves. You question whether the math actually works. You wonder if you are doing something wrong. You are not. You are experiencing the 7531 rule. 7 years for your first $100,000. 5 years for your second. 3 for your third. 1 for your fourth. The lie becomes truth only if you survive long enough to witness it. Most people do not. Here is how to make sure you do. Albert Einstein allegedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Financial advisors worship it. Every investing video preaches it. The concept saturates personal finance content so thoroughly that you probably feel like you already understand it completely. You do not. Understanding compounding intellectually and experiencing compounding emotionally are completely different things. The intellectual version shows smooth curves climbing elegantly upward. The emotional version feels like watching paint dry for years, while everyone around you seems to be getting rich faster. This gap between expectation and experience is where most investors fail. They know compounding works mathematically. They quit before it works practically. The 7531 rule explains exactly why this happens and exactly when the frustration transforms into freedom. Let me show you the math that nobody explains properly. Assume you invest $800 per month starting from zero. You earn average market returns of approximately 8% annually. Here is what actually happens to your money over time. Year 1. You contribute $9,600. Your account grows to approximately $10,000. Your gains total $400. $400 for an entire year of disciplined saving. Your coworker bought a new watch that cost more than your gains. Year 2. You contribute another $9,600. Your account grows to approximately $21,000. Total gains so far are roughly $1,800. Still less than a decent vacation. Still feeling pointless. Year 3. Another $9,600 contributed. Account reaches approximately $33,000. Cumulative gains around $4,200. 3 years of discipline and you could not even buy a used car with your investment profits. Year 4. More contributions. Account hits approximately $46,000. Gains total around $7,800. 4 years. Almost $40,000 contributed, and your money has made less than $8,000. The math feels broken. Year 5 through 7 continues this slow grind. Your contributions dominate your account growth. The compound returns exist, but they feel almost invisible compared to the money coming directly from your paycheck. Then, year 7 arrives. Your account crosses $100,000. You contributed approximately $67,200 over those 7 years. Your investment gains total approximately $32,800. 7 years to reach your first $100,000. 7 years of questioning. 7 years of watching others spend freely while you sacrificed. 7 years of wondering if you made the right choice. 7 years of compounding feeling like a complete lie. This is exactly where most people quit. But here is where the 7531 rule reveals the truth they never survive long enough to witness. If you are already seeing why most people fail at investing, hit subscribe because the acceleration phase I am about to explain changes everything. Your second $100,000 takes only 5 years. Watch what happens after you cross that first $100,000 threshold. Your account now generates real returns. 8% of $100,000 is $8,000 annually before your contributions even count. Your money starts pulling its own weight. By year 12, your account crosses $200,000. You contributed approximately $115,000 total. Your gains now exceed $85,000. For the first time, your money earned almost as much as you contributed. 5 years for the second $100,000 versus 7 for the first. Same contributions, same return rate. Completely different timeline. Your third $100,000 takes only 3 years. Now compounding starts feeling real. Your $200,000 base generates approximately $16,000 annually in returns before contributions. Your money is now contributing like a part-time employee working for free. By year 15, your account crosses $300,000. You contributed approximately $144,000 total. Your gains exceed $156,000. Your investment profits have now surpassed your total contributions. The money you invested earned more than the money you saved. 3 years for the third $100,000. The acceleration is becoming obvious. Your fourth $100,000 takes approximately 1 year. This is where compounding stops feeling like a lie and starts feeling like magic. Your $300,000 base generates approximately $24,000 annually. Add your $9,600 contribution and you are adding over $33,000 per year. $100,000 arrives in roughly 12 months. By year 16, you cross $400,000. The same milestone that took 7 painful years to reach the first time now happens in a single year. 7531. 7 years, 5 years, 3 years. The same amount of money accumulated on radically different timelines. This is the compounding truth hidden behind the compounding lie. The lie is that compounding feels rewarding from the beginning. The truth is that compounding frontloads the frustration and backloads the rewards. The people who survive the frustration phase inherit the reward phase. The people who quit during frustration never experience what comes after. Let me explain the psychology that makes the early years so dangerous. Your brain evaluates progress through comparison. When you invest $800 per month and your money earns $50, your brain calculates that you worked for that $800 but only received $50 in return from investing. The ratio feels pathetic. Your time and sacrifice seem disproportionate to your rewards. This calculation makes early investing feel unrewarding on a visceral level. Every month, your contribution dwarfs your returns. Every year, your sacrifice exceeds your benefit. Your brain screams that this is not working. But your brain is measuring the wrong thing. It is measuring return on this month's contribution rather than return on total accumulated wealth. It is anchoring on immediate feedback rather than ultimate outcome. It is falling for the same psychological traps that plague every area of human decision-making. The investors who build wealth override this brain malfunction. They understand that early frustration is the price of admission for later acceleration. They know the math works even when it does not feel like it works. They survive the lie long enough to experience the truth. Now let me show you what happens if you keep going beyond $400,000. Drop a comment telling me how long you have been investing and whether you are still in the frustration phase or have entered the acceleration phase. Your experience helps others watching this video. Your fifth $100,000 takes approximately 9 months. Your $400,000 base generates roughly $32,000 annually. Add contributions and you are accumulating over $40,000 yearly. The math becomes almost absurd. Your sixth $100,000 takes approximately 7 months. Your seventh takes approximately 6 months. By the time you cross $1 million, your portfolio generates roughly $80,000 annually in returns alone. That exceeds what most American households earn through working. Your money is now out-earning the average employee working full-time. From $1 million to $1.1 million takes approximately 4 months. From $1.1 million to $1.2 million takes even less. The person who started at zero, watching their $400 annual gain, is now watching $100,000 appear in 4 months. Same strategy, same contribution rate, same market returns. Completely different experience. This is why the wealthy keep getting wealthier, not because they know secrets, not because they take bigger risks, because they reached the phase where compounding does the heavy lifting. They survived 7531 and emerged into permanent acceleration. Let me address the objection already forming in your mind. 7 years feels like forever. You want results faster. You see other people apparently getting rich quickly through crypto or meme stocks or business ventures. Waiting 7 years for your first $100,000 seems unreasonable when others seem to be reaching it in months. This comparison is the wealth-building killer. The people flashing fast riches are either lying about their timeline or taking risks that will eventually destroy them. The survival rate for fast money strategies is abysmal. The people who lost everything on speculative bets are not making videos about it. You see the winners only. This creates survivorship bias that makes patient compounding seem foolish. But examine the actual data. The typical day trader loses money. The typical crypto speculator loses money. The typical options gambler loses money. The typical person trying to beat the market loses to the market. Meanwhile, the typical person who invests consistently in index funds for 20+ years builds substantial wealth. Not exciting, not viral, not impressive at parties, just mathematically certain over sufficient time. 7 years for your first $100,000 is not slow. It is the realistic timeline for building real wealth that does not disappear. Now let me give you the strategies that ensure you survive the frustration phase. Strategy 1 is automating completely. Do not rely on motivation or discipline to invest monthly. Set up automatic transfers that move money to your investment account every payday. Make investing the default that happens without decision. The months you feel discouraged, your automation keeps working. The years you question everything, your automation ignores your doubt. Automation removes emotion from the equation. Emotion is what makes people quit during year 3. Remove emotion and you remove the quit risk. Strategy 2 is tracking total contributions separately from total gains. Most investment apps show you a single account balance. This makes it impossible to see the compounding progress accurately. You need to know exactly how much you contributed versus how much your money earned. Create a simple spreadsheet tracking both numbers monthly. Watch the ratio between them change over time. In year 1, your contributions dominate entirely. By year 10, the ratio approaches equality. By year 15, your gains exceed your contributions. Watching this ratio shift provides motivation that the single balance number cannot. You see compounding working mathematically even when it does not feel like it is working emotionally. Strategy 3 is calculating future milestones. Run the numbers forward to see when each $100,000 milestone arrives. Put those dates on your calendar. Celebrate crossing each threshold even if the dollar amount does not feel life-changing yet. Knowing that your third $100,000 takes only 3 years makes the current slow phase feel more tolerable. You are not just grinding indefinitely, you are grinding toward a specific acceleration point that the math guarantees. Strategy 4 is ignoring your account balance almost entirely. Check quarterly at most, preferably annually. Frequent checking amplifies the emotional volatility that leads to quitting. Daily balance watching during market dips creates unnecessary panic. Monthly watching during slow growth years creates unnecessary frustration. The less frequently you look, the more likely you are to survive the frustration phase. Let automation handle the contributions. Let time handle the compounding. Check in occasionally to verify the system is working, then look away again. Strategy 5 is remembering that the first $100,000 is the hardest money you will ever make through investing. The grind to your first $100,000 will never repeat. Every subsequent milestone arrives faster. The difficulty curve is inverted. Maximum effort produces minimum visible result initially. Then minimum ongoing effort produces maximum visible result later. Understanding this inversion transforms your psychology. You are not fighting an endless battle. You are fighting the hardest battle first. Everything gets easier after you win this initial phase. Let me show you what life looks like once you reach the acceleration phase. You contribute your $800 monthly, but it barely matters anymore. Your portfolio generates more than that through returns alone. Your contribution is a rounding error on the growth happening automatically. You wake up some mornings to find your account increased by more than your entire monthly contribution overnight. Mark it up 2% means your $300,000 portfolio gained $6,000 in a single day while you slept. Drops still happen, but they feel different. A 5% decline on $300,000 means $15,000 lost temporarily. It stings. But you have seen enough recovery cycles to know the money comes back. The panic that would have caused you to sell in year 2 barely registers in year 12. Your relationship with work changes. You still earn income, but you no longer depend on it entirely. Your investments are building wealth independently. Every year that passes tips the balance further toward optional employment. This is what the people who quit in year 3 never experience. This is the truth behind the lie of compounding. This is why 753 to 1 matters so much. 7 years of frustration buys 5 years of progress, which buys 3 years of acceleration, which buys 1 year of multiplication. The sequence continues beyond the fourth $100,000. Each subsequent milestone arrives faster until money accumulates at rates that seemed impossible from zero. If this video finally made compounding make sense emotionally and not just intellectually, hit subscribe because I break down wealth building in ways that actually stick. Share this with someone stuck in year 2 or 3 who is thinking about quitting. Drop a comment with your current milestone progress so we can celebrate together. The lie feels true for 7 years. The truth feels magical forever after. Survive the lie. I will see you in the next video.